Authority. Now, that's a word that's being used a lot right now in all the situations that we're facing here in the world. And really, authority and leadership has not been a popular position to be in at all, because no matter what you're choosing to do, there's good chances that somebody's thinking you're making stupid decisions. That there's a large group of people that probably disagree with your decision that you're making, because no matter what decision you make, if you're in a position of authority right now, that there's consequences for someone else, and those consequences are more likely detrimental to that person or family in some way, somehow. And I was thinking about the authority of Christ, and we just came through Easter, Resurrection Sunday yesterday, and here he was, someone who possessed all authority, and yet he navigated through the most difficult time in his life, knowing how to exercise that authority for the betterment of someone else. And when Jesus spoke, early on when he started his ministry, the people were in awe, because they says, when he speaks as one with authority. And authority means confidence. It means ability to influence. It could mean the power, the governing powers. You could be an expert in a certain field, and you'd be considered an authority in that. Jesus was all those things. He possessed the position, the power. He spoke with confidence. He spoke to influence. And he was definitely an authority on the things of heaven. He spoke as one who knew all about it. And to watch him exercise that authority, it was always for the betterment, to encourage others, to build them up. Just like Paul says in 2 Corinthians, matter of fact, I think he says it twice, in chapter 1 and chapter 13, he talks about the authority given to him for edification and not destruction. That Paul never wanted to use his authority to be self-serving, or to be or to gain favoritism or anything else like that. Or also, he would not use his authority to rule over, to lord over people. But he used his authority, his position, for edification, to build others up. And when you contemplate the fact that in the season that we're in right now, those of us who are believers, we have this authority. And just like Paul said, he says, listen, all my earthly degrees, all my diplomas, everything that you think that's important on this earth, Paul says, I disregard those things. He says, because I discovered an authority. He says, I don't come to you except knowing anything but Jesus Christ and him crucified. He says, because once I discovered Jesus and I discovered that authority, when I realized the level of authority that brought in my life and what it did to my heart and my perception, he says, I realized I had the most important information that anybody could ever have to encourage and build up others with. And sometimes you might be watching this video, and maybe when you watch a video about somebody saying the name of Jesus, you feel like it's a dummy downed, weak position, or maybe you feel like, oh, they're just not educated, but I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Once you experience the overwhelming love of Christ and you feel the wisdom of God and your perception on life changes, you realize that there's a confidence that comes inside of you. There's a power to influence others with this name that is above every other name. And then when you begin to share it, and even with every platforms you have, like doing these little short videos, I'm encouraging other people to declare and proclaim the goodness of God. When they're doing that, and when you're doing that, you're exercising the authority of Jesus Christ in your life. The words that you're speaking carry with them a confidence and an ability to influence others for edification and to build them up. Always use your story, your God story, to help edify and build someone else up, that they might come to the same discovery, that they might come to the same epiphany, the same conclusion where Paul says, I don't claim to know anything but Jesus Christ in my life. That, folks, is the most important thing you can do, is know Jesus, for he is the way, he is the truth, and he is the life, and he's above all things, he's ahead of all things, he is authority over things. By him all things exist, and by him all things are held together. Let me tell you, if you're looking for some power, if you're looking for some position, if you're looking for some authority, know Jesus. And he'll teach you how to love people like you've never loved them before. He'll help you to see the best in people that you couldn't see before. He'll burden your heart with helping others like you've never known before. And your life will really start to matter. That's the authority that changes the world. So exercise it to its fullest and have a blessed day.